let's review. 道 道
道
德
德
利
利
智
智
大
大
义
义
道德
道德
励志
励志
大义
大义
兴
心
道德励志大义兴
道德励志大义心
兴
心呀
OK 道德励志大义兴
大德励志大义心
Wonderful 兴 This one is 利己
励志
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 小人心
小人心
小人心 Now 道德 means morality 道 means a way 德 means virtue Together they means human morality 励志 means to establish one's goal of life to establish one's goal of life 大义 means the major loyalty 大义 usually means unselfishness like you are willing to give up yourself for something that's bigger than self usually this word E is used for the high officials moral in terms of dedication to serve the emperor loyalty is very very key for anyone who has a very important goal of life when you do something to establish some great accomplishment in the human world human morality without it don't even talk about any 智 really I mean without the moral principles to guide everyday's action you basically have no direction in life without a principle without direction your everyday is being driven by the forces of all kinds of interferences in the world so you will never even come up to the so-called established goal of life you have no goal of life I always say like you're on the ship and your ship is very little the ocean is gigantic and you sit there and don't study the weather don't have a direction that you need to go to you just let the wind blow you to the left and the wind blow you to the left and one day maybe a big storm come and you tip over and you're dead most of the people's life without understanding morality their whole life actually don't even have anything about goal of life okay now morality I believe here in this moral lesson is focusing upon this word called loyalty why loyalty is so important in terms of morality I think this word is about you see what is this about the E the underneath is 我 me on the top of it actually is the sheep sign the sheep sign okay so the Bible Western culture Bible always talk about what means a good person always use this gentleness of the sheep and also say the God is like the shepherd right and the moral teachers are also like supposed to play the role of a shepherd the sheep they're very gentle, and they follow the shepherd, and they have no sign of killing and harming each other. Never. Very, very peaceful. Very, very peaceful.
Yeah.
So this is a very important moral example of being good. The E. A person, if has no quality of loyalty, that usually is a bad sheep. It is, it's the black sheep, and always go against the, divine's, arrangement, and eventually will not only unable to fulfill the true goal of life, but most likely will cause quite a lot of trouble for the rest of the, people that this person associated with. I think in every regard, this is again emphasizing that to be a good person, a successful person in the world, we need to work on the morality and most importantly about loyalty. As in the introduction, I talk about the Valentines in the history. The Valentines, they were like initially like everybody else, and we are all lost. We are all lost, in the delusion of the human world. But there is a very important thing that number one mission of our goal actually is to find the light, the truth. So the Valentines, they found the truth. The very important truth is that they, understand that they have something better to go to. Human world is not their eternal home. They actually understand that they're in the human world to find the truth, and they want to uphold the truth. And when the people, want them to change their loyalty towards the light, the truth, then they will not give in and they will not give up. So that loyalty fully manifested in the Valentines, life. The Valentines, I think they are the moral teachers. Looking back, they use their life conduct to, teach the people in the human world, until today, that as a human being, we all have love. We all wanting love. We in the human life or kind of experience love, but we also are disappointed by the human love. The human love usually is very transient. Parents, brother, husband, wife, or your wonderful friend. All this love, beautiful, but the relationship one day will be dispersed by death, by all kinds of scenarios. So human love, the lowest level is called sentimental love. The sentimental love doesn't last. But you still, during the sentimental love stage, you also need to practice morality. That is still the foundation of the normal human love. But also you need to work on your heart constantly to upgrade, that quality of the love. Eventually, it manifests into loyalty to truth, I think. So, when we talk about follow Jesus, for the Christians, they don't really follow the human Jesus. They truly actually is committed to follow the truth because Jesus represents the light, the truth, So human beings, once they find and commit to the heart of loyalty, and that is a big loyalty towards the truth, then they will be able to find the true mission of the life. And that basically is established based upon the daily conduct following morality. So this cannot be separated. Morality, true goal of life, and loyalty, they are all a comprehensive one togetherness. Cannot be separated. That's why, when you compare with this part, this is very easy to understand, that if you depart away from morality, and you live in the selfishness of your, 利己 benefit everything about yourself. And then you also have a goal in life, and that goal is established on how to benefit yourself. And basically, that person eventually will turn out to be a 小人. 小人, the small person, the small people, it's not really about the person is small or big. 小人 in the Chinese way, the Korean way, to when you say he's a 小人. 小人 means he's someone that has a very low level of moral principles. And usually 小人 are like what kind of person? They will do anything to benefit themselves. They have no principles of life. They will do all the wrong, things in order to get the money and power. So even kill, So those are called 小人. 小人 means evil people. 小人 means selfish people. 小人 means, those who harm others and cannot benefit other people. Okay. So again, this is a very important warning for the modern people. Since I'm a mother, I always, bring up a little example to you that some mothers, they teach their children to be successful in life. They want their children to go to, very famous universities or compete with others and win some award, and they think that's being good for the children. But if they don't teach their children morality, they're encouraging their children to go this direction of becoming a 小人. Because the children are being encouraged to only work for themselves to be successful. And their ambition is how to compete with others to get name and profit and sentimental love. And the mother behind the child to constantly drive the son to be successful in the material world. And any of the son turn out to be despicable, ugly, no moral, vicious, and harmful, cancerous 小人 to the human world. That is the biggest failure of mother's love. Mom all love children. Valentine's Day, right? Talk about all those failure stories about love. When you are mother, when you're father, you love your children too much. You turn your children into ugly 小人. That's not called love. That human sentimental love, actually, without morality, is poison. Actually no good. Between husband and wife, beautiful love. Togetherness, build a family and raise children. But if without moral principles between husband and wife, what can happen? Distrust, jealousy, suspicion, all possible, trouble that eventually cause the beautiful love that initially put the husband and wife together into hatredness. And ultimately they choose to cut the relationship and hate each other for the rest of their life. Never see you again, why they can turn into like that. Like what you said, the moral principle about the 修心. No. The moral principle is about if you cultivate your heart, then you will be able to give birth to each other's, right, the future. But if you do not cultivate your heart, then you will always turn into opponents in life. So it's like, 相克不修心, 相生道德心, right? That's what you were talking about. When you have the moral heart, then you will be able to promote each other and grow up together. When you do not cultivate your heart, without morality, you always are against each other. So the world today, between nations too, Ukraine and Russia, these two nations leader, and they put the two nations into opponents and cannot find a solution. and cannot find a peace. Why that's the case? That is because of lacking of morality.
Yeah.
When two person, husband and wife, without moral lights, they will get divorced. And the children eventually all hurt, harmed. When two nations leaders, they cannot get along. That's not what a divorce is going on. They are actually fighting with wars, and all the people of each nation, they are killed in the war. So the national leaders, particularly important, although they have big time ambition, to be powerful nation. Oh, I'm the leader of this nation. I make this nation so strong. So we're gonna, crush the other neighbors and get the wealth from them. Well, let's fight a war, right? That's also called a mission and ambition. Is it based upon morality? If it's not based upon morality and this word called loyalty, then you most likely is actually a 小人. So the national leaders, they bring their nations into war. The leaders most likely are not doing too well. Not doing too well. And so friends, beautiful friend love, and without moral principles to guide them and constantly cultivate their relationship, friendship also turn into enemies. Between siblings, if they don't follow the morality, ultimately the siblings also turn into horrible struggle, lifelong struggle. By the end of their life, the siblings no longer are siblings anymore. They basically totally lost the wonderful energy to be working together. This human world right now, everywhere, if you look at this beautiful love, this beautiful heart, that if we cultivate and fill the heart with joy, with this, you said the 8 kind thoughts, right? Those 8 kind thoughts need cultivation to grow. Every, good ones, you have the 德心, 慈心, that 8 wonderful hearts. Since you mentioned about it, why don't we write about it again and review it?
Sure.
Okay. So, in terms of heart, this moral teaching from Mr. Yue Gen says there are 8. Right?
Yeah. 8善.
八善心, right?
8善. Yeah, 8善行. Yeah.
So what are those 8 ones? The first one is 孝.
Yeah. 孝, yeah.
孝心. Okay. 孝心. Right? 孝心. 孝 means the filial.
Yeah, filial duty.
The children, we are all children. We all need to be filial to our parents, right?
And
let's pause here and do the separate one.